everyone world over, wherever you are in different countries, in the different continents, in the different time zones. We extend a very warm welcome to you this evening, and we have got a very distinguished guest, Mr. Pankaj Sehjowalia. He's the founder director of the Lotusra Design for Wellness. Wow, that's very good. During the COVID-19 pandemic, this is the most important. And he's going to talk about visual communication with all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the 370th. That means 370. Wow. That's with the Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council this evening's program. Our deep gratitude and thanks to Mr. Mohit Soni, Pooja Arora. They are doing a great job. So when we talk about making education relevant, we are from our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, extend you a very, very warm welcome and a pleasure to have. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the complete canvas for the whole week. There are 25 programs by our chamber per week. And that is when you come for teacher and youth empowerment, water management strategies, Swami Vivekananda for education, micro, small and the medium enterprises, Ayurveda, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bharatiya Upanishad, and then India ASEAN. And then Sunday evening you have got a non-resident Indians also. And every day in the afternoon at 12:30 you have a program in Hindi. That is आज का युवक क्या चाहता है, आज की युवा पीढ़ी क्या चाहती है. That is in the afternoon. During this pandemic, our chamber has done lots of research in the different countries, continents, and there basically we talk about and we share with you that basic food, basic happiness, basic wellness, and basic education, that all has to remain intact. That is very important. And B2B, when we talk about, that is no more business to business, but it is back to basics of life. All of us, we have to understand that. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed in the journey. Our chamber at present is focusing on education, skill development, and in skill development through various methods, modes, and means, we are trying to focus on life management. And of course, life should be musical, life should be happiness, life should be wellness, life should be good health, life should be laughter, life should be media entertainment, everything you can talk about. So incubation center or finishing lab or utter tinkering lab, that is also being taken into consideration. So whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, let's come together. It's a pleasure to have all of you. And whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, ladies and gentlemen, it can achieve. With these words, we extend a very hearty welcome to Mr. Pankaj Sehjowalia this evening, who is joining us from the efforts and inputs and most valuable inputs from Media Entertainment Skill Council. They are doing commendable job. They are doing wonderful job because people have got a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of depression, problems, difficulties, health issues. So it is media entertainment and giving you mental happiness, physical happiness, everything they are trying to give you and package it for you so that you all are fine world over wherever you are. So ladies and gentlemen, with these words, we extend you a very warm welcome. And this evening, we have got a special presentation, present interaction, and talk, come walk the talk or sit the talk, whatever we should say. It's on the visual communication. So Mr. Pankaj Sehjowalia ji, he is going to share with all of us. With these words, we extend you a very warm welcome. And now the audience is yours, world is yours, floor is yours.
Right, so good evening again, everyone. So
थोड़ा volume बढ़ा लीजिए, थोड़ा volume if you can increase, that would really be wonderful.
is it fine now? Is it better now?
A little better, little better.
Right, right, let me just first share the screen with all of you. And just a minute. Right.
So it is Chandigarh Design School, it is skills,
right, so
it is principal designer and
So first
academic
of
head,
all,
media entertainment industry. Yes, great. Please go ahead.
right, sir. So good evening again, everyone. So I am Pankaj Sehjowalia. For 15 years of my career in design consultancy and education, and before that, you must be wondering that I'm fully packed. So right now I'm in Chandigarh, and it's one of the coldest days here, and we are at the foothills of Himalayas, and we are blessed with really cold weather. So that's why I'm packed today, and we haven't seen sun for last 3 days. Right. So coming back to visual communication. So this is my core field. So I have worked in visual communication for 15 years, and I come from a technical background. So like majority of youth, get into engineering, and so I was one of them. And soon I realized that my interest in design. So I started learning softwares as a engineering student and ended up in design studios. And after working for 2 years as a designer, I got admission at NID. NID is the foremost institute in India and the first institute to offer graphic design, also known as visual communication. So after my master's, it's been more than a decade that I'm working all around the globe with companies and also encouraging youth, guiding them towards career in design. So I'm associated with Skill and Chandigarh Design School as an academic head and principal designer. So starting with the framework for today. So we are going to start with understanding what is visual communication. So visual communication is not a term which is used by masses, and the term which is commonly used is graphic design. So the use of graphic design in our life starts from when we open our eyes, right? So even when we enter the washroom, our toothpaste, our the packagings we have, whatever we eat from our kitchen, everything has graphics on it, and the companies invest a lot in getting graphic design and packaging done. So I hope that everyone is aware of Steve Jobs. So the connection of Steve Jobs, that as we know him as one of the innovators and the founding chairperson of Apple, and one of the biggest companies and the innovative products of Macintosh, right? So as a teenager, so there's a very interesting story about Steve Jobs, that his teenage was not as comfortable as that we have in cities these days in India. So the urban population. So he had a very tough time as a teenager. So, but he learned one thing as a teenager in his school. He learned calligraphy. So calligraphy helped him later when he founded his company to understand that fonts and typefaces are very important. So fonts are typefaces with symbols result in brand and logos. This is one of the projects which I have done at JWT Gurgaon. So Bharti is the parent brand company of Airtel. So Airtel, everyone knows. Airtel is founded by Sunil Bharti Mittal. So Bharti is, Sunil Mittal's mother's name, and that's how the parent company name was, registered. So once the chairperson and the board of directors of Bharti Enterprises decided that now we are going to expand from India and become a multinational company. So at that point in time, they hired one of the biggest ad agencies, that was JWT, James Walter Thompson. And so at JWT, when we got this project, so first foremost part was the research part, and then followed by the entire design process of 3 months. and this was the result. This logo might seem very simple to all of you, but if you look carefully, you'll see that unlike other logos, there are sharp edges to every letter. So, so in design, everything has a meaning. So sharp edges represent risk-taking ability and brave efforts of the founding chairperson. And the entire color of the logo is blue. And there are two triangles pointing in two different directions. So these triangles are associated with diversity that Bharti Enterprises is into. So Bharti as a company, as a corporation, they are not only into mobile services, telecom services at Airtel, they have other business verticals as well. And in design, because a lot of students are interested nowadays in creative careers, and design economy is booming even during the lockdown. So what we need to understand here is that how graphic design as a discipline helps us in media and entertainment. So the first and foremost is corporate identities and brand building. So in this brand, there are two colors, blue and an orange color. Both are complementary colors. And blue also represents the vastness and the expansion plans of the corporate. So this was one of the wonderful projects because we worked very closely with the founding chairperson. Moving on, so every brand has a story to it, and with thoughtful ideas, with design thinking, so advertising has reached to a new level where we use multi-sensory experience, right? So advertisements have always been thought-provoking. So this is a very simple example. So we can go ahead with just a print advertisement outdoors, but this is basically giving an idea, right? So having sensors, using technology and giving an experience to the audience, to the user through advertisements. So a lot of brainstorming is done, and the ideas, new ideas are decided for every brand. Print media is the conventional way that how graphic design came into existence. So as we already discussed about typography, so fonts are very important and the composition is also important. So the entire industry of publications and book design, so we have a lot of publishers, national level, international level. So there are design and houses, they work on the hierarchy, the visual hierarchy and the composition of book covers. So these are few covers which triggers emotions and engages you to think about the title as well as about the visual. So this particular cover is more to do with the illustration and also the positive, working on the positive and the negative space. So positive and negative space are the design fundamentals of visual communication. And unlike other economies and other industries, let me tell you that design industry in India as well as abroad has evolved, and nowadays we have a lot of multinational companies that they have invested in India for their media and entertainment collaterals and design consultancies. So that has resulted in a lot of studios. So we have our metros like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Pune are the hubs for design studios. So a lot of work is outsourced by the European and American countries to India. And the work has multiplied, especially during the lockdown. So films and television, so media and entertainment. So entertainment industry is all about movies and shows. So this particular poster, and it's one of the movies where one of my seniors, so super seniors, Divakar Banerjee. So, so there's an entire process of even making a film poster, right? So showing larger than life and also having that dramatic effect and the feel of that era when that movie and that particular storyline worked. And obviously there's a that it happens through the process of photography. Obviously we sketch, first is the sketching, followed by clicking a correct picture, the correct gesture of the main character, and also showing him bigger than life. And the context is, that particular Bengali culture and the architectural excellence, their bridge. So that's how the entire composition of the film poster has come into existence. Also, that was the time when there was a war, right? So there are helicopters and there is bombarding happening, right? And a dynamic poster always works for a movie poster. So what I am touching today are the basics of graphic design, and obviously the industry has evolved to special effects, animation. So everything in media and entertainment industry has evolved to a level where VFX artists and the entire studios have invested in visual communication as well as animation and VFX. Now, this is a very interesting part of the entire presentation, uh, online paradigms. So nowadays, how the paradigm has shifted gradually to online platforms, and now, with maximum number of youth population in India, we have seen that online platforms are doing really well. And also during the pandemic, it has given a boost to the online platforms, where physically it is difficult for the audience to go to the cinemas and watch any movies. So television, after televisions, Netflix, Disney Hotstar, and other platforms have become the primary, entertainment options for the youth as well as for the working professionals. So in this particular year, 2020, the paradigm has shifted from conventional TV channels to a more flexible option of selecting your online platforms and watching your entertainment movies and series 24/7. And this has also resulted in many jobs and opportunities for the graduates who have graduated from graphic design, from visual communication, animation, VFX, writers, and even the new directors. So it has basically opened up a new platform for the youth and for the graduates. So how we are connected, with these industries is that as part of Chandigarh Design School, we have a pedagogy that is skill, and in our education system, we believe in practical education and connection with the industry. So one of our initiatives is that the competition, we have already started, which is Go 48 Challenge, which talks about giving an opportunity to all the graduates, designers, students, all the creative fraternity in the world, and connecting them with the industry as well as with their niche sectors. So just sharing about that, this initiative helps students to showcase their talent and discover their potential through 5 challenges. And there are series of competition that happens every year, and these competitions help the young generation, the students, even designers working in the industry, to connect, to build a network, and look forward for a professional opportunity in 5 fields which are for us for Go 48 challenge. What we have is that we are starting with visual communication, which I'm sharing today. And so there are competitions like Logo 48 and Motion X. So the best part about this challenge is that we have 48 minutes time for the first challenge and we have 48 hours challenge. That's how the name comes into existence. The brief will be given just before the 11:30 GMT, which is 5 and 5:30, around 5:30 p.m. of India IST Indian time, followed by UI UX, animate, live, and game it. So I would definitely encourage the entire community watching today and to participate in this event and get exposure and feedback and get participate and get opportunity to showcase your work to the world. So these are just the list, and you can definitely go through the website, which is go48.in for this. And we are also offering these programs at our Chandigarh Design School. So the most important part which I would like to share with the young generation and with the design fraternity is that it's very important. One of the quotes by Steve Jobs is connecting the dots, which is very important. So as shared earlier, that for Steve Jobs, during when he was a teenager, so for him it was important. So just a minute, let me just. So as a teenager, for youngsters, and in India we have 70% of our population as youngsters and teenagers. So are you able to connect the dots? So to connect the dots, it's very important that at present, whatever you're studying, and you should have the best exposure with the facilities you have, that is online platforms, and especially through such webinars that that are conducting, just like the one all of you are attending. So connecting as a youth and building, getting more exposure and awareness, and keep on adding your skills to a level where you are able to look backward and connect the dots in your life. So for that, your present is the most important moment in your life. So just take one step at a time and one day at a time to build your future. So one of those opportunities for all of you is definitely visual communication, and it opens up doors for you to enter the media and entertainment industry in India as well as abroad. So especially this year, what has happened that mostly initially physically, and for any graduate, it was important that he or she should be physically present in that particular company. Especially during the lockdown, there have been a flexible hours given. So even there are options where you can remotely work with companies and brands of your, where you aspire to work. With this, I will end my presentation.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot,
Thanks.
Pankaj. It was really enlightening and it was really heartening, and it's really nice to know. And I can feel your cold weather, uh, Chandigarh. That's really. Please take care of yourself, and we wish you all the best for the coming festival. And we will encourage youngsters, and we would request them, all of them should participate actively, vibrantly, and they should come forward and they should take active part. And everybody should be the part of media entertainment skill council efforts, what we
Right.
have got. So thank you very much, Pankaj. Thanks for joining us this evening. Very